Last time we have derived the three differential equations, which are the ordinary differential equations, independently in terms of r, theta and phi. Now we are going to see the solutions of those equations and then finally see how the solutions can be attained in terms of the quantum numbers. Our phi equation is this: d square phi by d phi square plus ml square phi is equal to 0. This is the equation of simple harmonic oscillator, and therefore its solution is in terms of phi. It is a e raised to I ml phi. Now here a is the constant. For the solution to be true, or for the good solution, it is necessary that it should be the single valued function. When it is a single valued function, there is a rule that should be verified. That is, phi of phi should be equal to phi of phi plus 2 pi. Now we already have phi of phi. Now we will write phi of phi plus 2 pi and then equate these two things. So on the left hand side I am going to write this, and on the right hand side it will be in terms of phi plus 2 pi. So a e raised to I ml phi is equal to a e raised to I ml phi plus 2 pi. Now this can be obtained in terms of the two separate terms. So that will be like this: a e raised to I ml phi e raised to I ml 2 pi, and the left hand side is the same: a e raised to I ml phi. So now these two terms will get cancelled, and what we will have is, it will be e I ml 2 pi is equal to 1. Now if it is true, then our ml will have these values like 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2 and so on. So this is about the phi equation. Now when we go for the theta equation, the solution is obtained in terms of the Legendre polynomials, and you know that we had used the constant L for the theta equation. So the relation between ml and L will be verified like this. ml should have the values like 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, but the maximum will be plus minus L. Now what is ml? It is the magnetic quantum number, and L is the orbital quantum number. So this is about the two equation. Now in case of the third equation, that is in case of the R equation, what we have is, we have the term energy. Now energy values are quantized. What is the meaning of quantization? Specific values. So we have the solutions of the R equation only for the positive values, and in terms of the negative value, the solution is possible only and only if the value of energy will be now. This equation, if you remember, is the same equation of that of the energy equation derived in the Bohr term. Now here what we have is the number n, which is the most important quantum number and which is the principal quantum number. So now we have the values of n in terms of 1, 2, 3 and so on, because n is the integer. Now we have so far discussed about the three quantum numbers ml, L and n. Now all these three quantum numbers are not independent, but those are all related. We have to see what is the relation between all these three quantum numbers, and for that I'll first write down again the magnetic quantum number ml, which is like 0, plus minus 1 up to plus minus L. Then what we have is L. L will be 0, 1, 2, 3 up to n minus 1. This is the maximum possible value of L. This is the orbital quantum number. And finally, the principal quantum number, that is n, is the integer having the value 1, 2, 3. does not have the value 0 over here. Now we have derived the relation between these quantum numbers also, and now we know what are these quantum numbers. But then our aim was to find out psi in terms of the quantum numbers. You know that psi is this. So when we write psi in terms of quantum numbers, it will become like this. Now, psi in all have three quantum numbers like n, l and ml. But for r, for theta and phi, in case of independent r, theta, phi, we don't have all those three quantum numbers together. But for r, we have n, l. For theta, we have LML, and for phi we have only ML. So this is now we can write psi and this r theta phi. So I hope you have understood this. Earlier we had the three equations, then we have gone independently for finding their solutions. Once you get the solution, then we can go for the interrelation of these quantum numbers in terms of the psi or the wave function. So psi, NL, ML will be expressed in terms of this. Now this is in general, but we can take some example that will make you very clear how you can write down these states. These are all the terms in which we can express the state of the particle or state of the electron. For that, I'll take only two simple examples. We'll take the ground state first. So we have n is equal to 1. I hope you are clear with the concept of the ground state. So n is equal to 1. If n is equal to 1, then what can be the value of L? L can go only up to n minus 1. So L can be only 0. L can be 0. And if L is 0, ML, which can go up to plus minus L, will also only be 0. So your ML also will be 0. So we have these three values. So how this state, that is the ground state, will be written? It should be written like psi n l ml. So it should be written like psi 1 0 0. This is n, that is 1 here, l, that is 0, and ml 0. So we have psi 1 0 0. This is the ground state. Now if we go for the higher value of n, that is say n is equal to 2, then also we can find out the values of L and ML. What will be the values of L? L will be 0 and 1. There will be two values. And ML will be 0 and plus or minus 1. Now see here, we have to find out the combinations which can be expressed in terms of this. And that will be those will be the number of states. So first we can go like this, 2 0 0, that is N, L and ML. So psi 2 0 0, that will be the first presentation. Then we can go for N will be 2 only always, but here it is 1. So 2 1, corresponding to this 1 we have these values. So 2 1 plus 1, psi 2 1 minus 1, and psi 2 1 0. This is the way you can express. So 2 0 0, then 2 1 0, 2 1 plus 1, 2 1 minus 1. In this way the states can be represented. So this is how we can represent the total number of states, and it will explain us the behavior of the electron in terms of the quantum numbers. Now we are going to see how these states or how the values of this L and N can be obtained. You know this thing, like for the configuration of electrons, we have these states like S state, P state, D state, F state, okay? So the corresponding values of L for these states are fixed. For the S state it is 0, P state it is 1, D state it is 2, it is 3, and so on. So if I speak about any P electron, I mean that the value of L for that electron is 1. It is like that, okay? So in terms of 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, the corresponding values are fixed. Okay? Now we are going to find out magnitude of the orbital angular momentum. Now you know that the orbital angular momentum is L, but for finding that we will be using the R equation. You already have the three equations, so you have to go back to the R equations, but I'll write down the equation first. It is 1 by R square d by dr of R square dr by dr plus, then what we have is 2m by h cross square, then E plus that E square by 4 pi epsilon naught term minus L into L plus 1 by R square, the whole into capital R is equal to 0. Okay, so you have this as your R equation. Now what is our aim? Our aim is to derive the expression for orbital angular momentum. For that, we'll have to again go back to the concept that we want the purely equation in terms of radial form. For that, if you look at this particular term E, we will go back to the term E and then substitute over here. What is E? When we consider the total energy, it is kinetic energy plus potential energy. But now see, this kinetic energy also we are going to consider in two parts. Two parts means radial part and orbital part. Okay, means R part and the theta part. So this kinetic energy radial plus kinetic energy orbital plus your potential energy, that is VR. Now you already know the expression for VR. It is minus E square by 4 pi epsilon naught R. At the place of E, when we will substitute all these three terms, that minus E square by 4 pi epsilon naught will get cancelled with this particular term. Okay, then what will be left? Then E kinetic energy radial plus orbital will be left at this place. So I'll write down that next equation. Now that V term will go and what we will have is only this. Now again look at this equation. We want this equation only in the radial form. To have only the radial form, what we don't want here is this. The orbital term we don't want. Now this orbital term and this term, if it will get cancelled with each other, then our aim will be fulfilled. So what we have is, for this to be radial, purely radial, this kinetic energy orbital term, which is multiplied by this, 2m by h cross square. So 2m by h cross square into kinetic energy orbital term should be equal to L into L plus 1 upon R square. This capital R will be 0 because it is constant, while dividing. So we have this equation. I'll take this equation separately so that you can understand what we are basically doing. 2m by h cross square into kinetic energy orbital should be equal to L into L plus 1 upon R square. Now see, this kinetic energy orbital has already got the term from classical mechanics that your orbital kinetic energy is L square upon 2I. What is this I? This is the moment of inertia. So it is mr square. So it is L square upon 2mr square. So I am going to substitute this term over here. So it is into L square upon 2m r square. Now you can see this r square will get cancelled with this 2m will get cancelled. What we'll have is this. Now, what is our aim? Our aim is to derive the expression for orbital angular momentum means L. So, from this equation, we will first get L square. So, your L square is this. L square is L into L plus 1 into h cross square from this. Okay. And our final expression for L will be under root of this. So, it will be under root L into L plus 1. Now this h cross will be outside the square root term. Now this is the magnitude of orbital angular momentum, and you can understand that this magnitude is given in terms of small l. Now you are well familiar with this L. This is the orbital quantum number. So values of capital L can be obtained in terms of small l, and the values of L are what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So we'll take one example. Suppose we have the S state. So you know that L will be 0. So that is 0. Then for P state, what is value of L? You know L is 1. Since it is 1, it will be 1 into 2. So your capital L will be root 2 h cross. For the D state, your L will be 2. So that will be 2 into 3. So root 6 h cross. Your L will be this. So this is how we can obtain the values of what? Orbital angular momentum. So I hope you have understood all these things. Thank you.